Good morning, everybody out there. Thank you so much for tuning into Mystic Fit this morning. On Christmas Eve, we have a lot of great yogis in the studio with us today, giving themselves a little early gift of yoga this morning. I hope that you're able to do the same out there at home. For today's practice, if you have a couple of blocks on hand at home, you might be better served by having those. You could also use a small cushion or something like that, a rolled up blanket, throughout your practice to help support you. Just have your props nearby. We're going to get into a lot of beautiful hip opening postures today as we make our way through a couple of Christmassy type theme poses. So we'll begin either in a seated position, or if you would prefer to begin laying down, that's perfectly fine as well. If you're seated, you could sit with your legs folded in front of you. This will start to open up the hips a little bit early on. If this is too intense, you could always prop yourself up on the edge of a block, which would allow your knees to spread open more comfortably. Once you've made your way into your starting place, you'll let your eyes float closed and let your hands find a nice natural place to rest on your legs. And just start taking some easy breaths in and out through your nose. Noticing your hips settling down into the earth if you're seated. We're allowing your entire body to sink down if you're laying down. Noticing that your shoulders have dropped away from ears here. And just bringing your awareness inside the body and into your breath. Inhales and exhales. It's really that simple here. Just slowing everything down, inhaling long, slow, and deep, and then releasing. Inhaling, allow your belly to fill, and then let go. Inhaling, expanding the belly, side ribs now, and release. Gradually increasing the capacity of lungs, inhaling belly, chest, maybe up towards the heart center here, and then letting it go. Finding your own easy pace, long, slow breaths in and out. Inhaling, belly to chest, and releasing. We'll begin to bring a little more power into the breath now as we begin our next round. The inhale stays the same. Relax as you breathe all the way in. But as you exhale, begin to lift the pelvic floor, lightly squeeze lower abdominals to help press all of the air outward. Long, slow in-breaths. And then contract and squeeze, out breath. So noticing the abdominal muscles firing up, a little more power coming to the body. Although we are sitting very still or lying still, there's a lot going on within us, creating this fire, this subtle energy starting to burn inside. Let's get 3 more here. Inhaling, expanding like an accordion. And then exhale, the accordion squeezes in and up, pressing the air out. One last time. Good. Lessen the effort in the breath and just notice any subtle differences to the way that you're feeling now. On your next breath, let's take the arms all the way up overhead. Palms touch, lift your heart up. And as you exhale, we'll draw hands to heart center, again engaging the belly so that that energy meets right at the heart. Keeping eyes closed and a slight tuck to the chin, we'll open up our class by uniting our voices in the sound of Om. We'll take a cleansing breath to prepare. Deep inhale. And release. And we'll inhale for Om. Have a wonderful practice, everyone. Let's float our eyes open here. And if you are not already in a seated position, take a few moments to just gently wake yourself up and bring yourself here. Again, welcome to take the legs crossed in front, or if it's better to sit back on your heels, totally fine. We'll start off with some seated cat and cows here. As you inhale, we'll open the arms up, reach back, really open up through the chest. And then on your exhale, you'll give yourself a hug, curl and rock it back. Inhale, open up, and exhale, curl. Opening yourself up for fresh possibilities on the inhale, and then grabbing them all in and taking them to the heart on the exhale. Let's get 3 more. And you can notice that your hips are starting to rock forward and back a bit. If they're not quite ready to rock, then just let them wake up gently. 1 more. Really curl and hug it in. Good. Finding some twists now. Then inhale the arms up. Fingertips touch above you, creating a little flame here. Take a breath in and stretch it up. As you exhale, we're going to twist and turn over to the right side. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, twist to the left. We'll get several more rounds. Inhale, expand. As you exhale, that energy of pelvic floor and elbows meet at the center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, feel your fire burning. Last set. 1 more here. Beautiful. Let's inhale, both arms all the way up. Big stretch. Lift your gaze. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Lower belly joins in to meet the palms there. And then we'll make our way onto the hands and knees to continue to warm up here. So we'll take our hands either under the shoulders, or if you have less bendy wrists, you're going to walk them a little bit more forward there. Knees will be directly underneath the hips most likely. So we're going to begin here by taking our right knee inward and then circling it out and around. So just making some little circles here with the knee, gently warming up and lubricating the hip joint there with some synovial fluid and making it get nice and warm, feeling good. And as you're drawing your knee in, you can use those abdominals a little bit to make this happen for you. And we'll just get about 1 more here. Good. And then we're going to take our knee and take it out to the side, fire hydrant pose, right? Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to kick your foot off to the side, nice and long. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, kick it off to the side. Feel the thighs say good morning. Inhale, bend it. Exhale, extended it, pause, stay here. Breath in and out. Noticing the muscles waking up to keep you stable here. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in here. And out. Let's take the foot back now. Toes point down towards the ground, so we are in our extended tabletop position. We'll then drop the right foot down to the floor, and we're going to spin on the left knee. I'm going to spin all the way around here so you can see me better. So we're in a side plank. So right foot coming back, left toes point back behind you. Modified side plank here. Let's warm up the shoulders. Take a big breath in, reach for the ceiling. And as you exhale, hand circles back towards the back leg. Inhales around over the head. And feel your ribs starting to move a little bit. Let your elbow be as bendy as it needs to be, particularly as you're drawing it up and overhead here. And let's get 1 more like this. And then allow this motion to help you express yourself into a more open feeling from hand to hand, opening up through chest. One more breath here. Either staying where you are or lifting your right leg up and balancing just on left knee. Some of you may be able to bend the right knee and reach back to catch your foot, kicking your foot into your hands. We've got a kneeling sugarcane pose here, the first of our little Christmassy themed poses. Getting a nice opening up through the hip. Take a big breath in and out. Let's release the leg, arm up, and we'll take the foot down, circle your hand down, and we'll just come back to sit on the heels for a moment. Maybe you just kind of circle out the wrists, give them a little shake. You could also give yourself a little massage there. If one of your wrists is feeling particularly needy this morning, give it all the love that it needs, right? Share the love. And then we'll make our way back onto hands and knees at some point, and we're going to do the other side, same thing. So we'll begin by circling the left knee. Take it in towards the chest first to fire up core, and then open it out and around, making these lovely little circles. Couple more here. You can even go the opposite direction as well. We're going to start to take our knee out to the side. So let it just hover on the ground, and then we'll take it out. Hold it up nice and high, flex the ankle, and then kick the left foot for the wall. Take a breath in and bend your knee. Exhale, extend. Feel the hamstring wake up there. Bend the knee and extend. Now we're going to hold it. If it gets too intense, you could always drop your foot down a little bit lower. All good. One more breath. And we'll take our straight leg, swing it back, toes point down towards the floor now as we hold our extended tabletop position for a moment. We'll then drop our toe to the back of the mat, spin on the right knee, drop the inner side of your left foot to the floor, and open up into a modified side plank. Let's circle out the shoulder here. Big breath in, reach. Exhale, it sweeps for the back leg and then the mat. Almost like you're painting your mat with the back of the hand a bit. Let yourself move however you need to, so the rest of the body is getting as much movement as it needs. We'll get about one more like this. And then use your inhale to help expand that arm so big. It's like a big yawn here for your body. Every time you're on your hands, you want to press the fingers actively into the floor, so right hand gripping the mat. Option to lift the leg. Start to fire up, strengthening the outer hip there. If it's okay for you to give it a shot this early on, you bend the top knee. And who cares if you give it a shot and it doesn't work out, right? You fall over, you pick yourself back up. Last two. And one more. Good. Let's release the leg and arm, stretch it up, and then take your foot back down to the floor. Circle the arm down. And we're just going to take a little pause in child's pose, getting back off the hands. You can spread your knees wide apart, walk your fingers a little bit forward. If it's too intense to take the knees wide, definitely take them together. This can be a very supported and lovely child pose for your spine. And if your shoulders don't feel like reaching forward right now, they're a little sore or tired, you can always just reach on back towards the feet. We'll take 4 long inhales and exhales here in child's pose. And you can come back to child's pose anytime in your practice. You're welcome to do what feels right for you in the moment throughout practice. Last 2 breaths. And one more here. Nice. All right, students, let's come back up onto hands and knees. Grip the floor. Curl the toes, lift the knees just to a hover. So they're about an inch or so off the ground. play a little bit with shifting the weight forward and back here. Getting a little stretch through the ankles, the hips. The quads are saying good morning again to me. And then press back as much as you can. Pause. And from here, we'll find our first downward facing dog, beginning to lift the hips. The knees are going to stay bent. Then we'll start to pedal it out. One leg straightens out a bit. The other knee bends. Allow your head to be heavy. Maybe you're shaking it gently from one side to the other. You can open and close your mouth a few times here to release tension in your face. And many of us tend to clench our teeth at night and may not even realize it. So that can be a lovely little way to kind of just decompress the jaw. Just open and close a few times. We'll start to still the feet here and find our downward facing dog once again. Now, if you notice that you're a little bit more forward with the weight over the wrists, bend your knees so that you're able to lengthen through the spine and get the pressure off there. We'll try a few waving planks to decompress spine and make us super strong in our deepest core. Look forward with bent knees to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to lift the hips, curl, try to roll one vertebra at a time like water into plank. Once you meet yourself in plank on the in-breath, you'll bend your knees and just glide your way back. Exhale, water, wave through. Inhale, bend the knees and glide it back. So I always imagine as the exhales, the waves are coming up onto the shore, and then as I inhale, they're pulling back out to the ocean. Exhale, wave forward, and inhale, just let them be pulled back out. Knowing another wave is coming right after that one, and glide it back. Final round here, go forward and pause in plank. On your next natural exhale, we'll drop the knees down and lower ourselves all the way down, thighs, belly, chest. Tuck your chin, press to the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose. Now waving top spine. Exhale, roll it down. Couple more. Tuck chin, lift. Exhale, lower. Students look great. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. This time as we arrive in cobra, we're going to pause and hold it. So again, gripping the floor here. Elbows are trying to draw back, shoulders away from ears. Press firmly to tops of feet. One more inhale. And on your exhale, deep core lifts you up and back to downward facing dog. Take another breath in and let it go. Let's travel to the front of the mat. Take a breath in, look forward. As you exhale, we'll walk the feet up towards the hands here. Inhale for your half lift, hands anchor onto shins. And then exhale with super bent knees, just start to let yourself come forward. You can let yourself sway side to side or walk your hands side to side. If you're someone who's a little tighter in your thighs or the hamstrings there or in your back, it might feel a lot better to just let yourself rest like this with your forearms on your thighs. Just letting yourself get nice and long, trying to avoid rounding and hanging onto the spine like so. Last two breaths. One more. Go ahead. Let's get ready to stand up here. On the in-breath, press into your feet and lift all the way up to the sky. At the very end of the inhale, we exhale, hands to heart center. Lower belly draws in and up to meet the hands there. I'm going to pop back to this mat here. Take my water with me. Let's get our first sun salutation, A, students. So we'll take our hands all the way up overhead. As you exhale, dive down, bend knees. Inhale, half lift. As you exhale, hands plant, and we walk to down dog first. So we get that compression or decompression of spine and core work in with our vinyasa flow. Look forward, knees bend, prepare. Exhale, wave it through. Take some practice. Inhale there, squeeze everything. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the ground, just as we did before. Tuck chin, inhale, cobra pose. Maybe you're feeling even stronger now. And exhale, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. And release. 2 more breaths. One more. Starting from the beginning, inhale, look forward, bend knees. Exhale, we can walk feet to hands. Inhale halfway, feel your belly strong and supportive. Exhale, relax down, soften everything. Inhale, rise, press through inner arches of feet. Energy rises through center of body. Exhale, hands to heart, and that energy meets in the center. One more like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands plant, walk. You could take a little jog back, downward facing dog. Look forward, knees bent to prepare. Exhale, pick up hips, try to wave to plank. We'll inhale and plank. As you exhale, you can lower down as we did before, or maybe drop the knees and find a modified chaturanga, just going about halfway or so. On your next in-breath, cobra if you went to the floor, or up dog if you chose chaturanga, thighs up. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog, big breath in. And out. You can always pedal feet in dog or keep your feet still. This is your practice. Good, let's inhale the right leg all the way up to the sky, and as you exhale, bend your knee, open up the hip. We're trying to stack the right hip over the left here. Take another big breath in. And back out. Inhale back to 3-leg dog. Exhale, find a tiger curl. It draws knee into the chest, and you pick the hips up again, almost like you're waving. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, let's do that one more time. Curl it forward, pause, and then step to your right hand. So we're coming to warrior 1 first today. So you might need to walk your left foot a little bit over to the left. Feet are on about train tracks here. And then lift your way up to warrior 1. So the back heel will be grounded here, pressing your back edge of the left foot firmly into the floor. So we're going to warm up our shoulders in this pose a little bit. So we'll inhale and reach up, straighten the front leg. As you exhale, bend your knee, palms forward, elbows down. Inhale, circle arms forward, palms face back. Exhale, come back and bend palms forward. So as we continue to move, we're kind of rolling the shoulders around in the joint. Continue to press into the outer edge of the back foot. We'll get one more here, and then come to warrior 1 with your palms are wide open, actively drawing the elbows down, but you stop them kind of at a certain point right at shoulders. So they're actively pulling down as you're actively stretching up. Last breath. Guys look great. Let's inhale the arms up overhead now. Exhale, reach out to the side, interlace your arms behind you, shoulders roll down. Inhale, lift gaze. Exhale, bow forward. Tuck chin, inhale, press your way into your front foot to try to roll it back up. And then exhale, come on down. Deep core assists. Inhale, lift up, waterfall warrior. And exhale, take it on down. Last time, inhale, lift up. And then as we exhale, we will come back to humble warrior, and we will stay. You could either use a strap in between your hands if your hands aren't comfortably reaching each other, or you could always let your hands come down to the front foot. One more breath in, and out. Let's all bring our hand down to the front foot now. And we're going to pick up the back heel. Now we're in runner's lunge. So a little more freedom there in the left hip. Finding your twist. Right arm reaches up to sky. If you have a block handy, you might need it under your left hand here. Just brings the floor up a little higher for you. If you feel you need more stability, look to the earth. Find the ground. If you feel super solid, maybe look up and reach for stars. One more inhale. And exhale. Good, big breath in. Exhale, top hand circles back again, and then lift yourself up to warrior two. Back heel drops now, and we'll cartwheel our way up to face the side. So our feet are now in one line like a balance beam. Front knee perpendicular to the floor here, so keep that shin pretty straight, or you can back off a little. You just don't want the knee coming past toes. Look for your right thumb, soften your gaze. 3 breaths here. 2. And 1 more. Flip your front hand, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Take a moment in your downward facing dog, being aware of your body, the difference between the right and the left leg. And we'll do the other side now. Inhale, left leg, big reach, maybe bending knee to open up the hip. Now, as you're doing that, really press down into the left fingers. They might have started to pop up off the ground. Next breath in, kicks it back, 3-leg dog. Exhale, knee into the chest, tiger curl 1, pick the hips up. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, curl it forward, pause, and then try to step to your hand. If it's hard, you can go around maybe to the outside first. Left back foot steps off a little, heel comes down to the floor, lift up, warrior 1. So find your way into your best warrior 1 position before you go anywhere else, pressing really firmly into that back foot. Inhale, stretch tall, front leg bends. Exhale, bend the left knee, palms forward, elbows down. As you stand, elbows come forward, palms up and back. Exhale, circle it down. Couple more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Last. And now we stay. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that deep core lifting upward and inward. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, out and around. You reach really big, like a starburst there. Hands interlace behind, shoulders roll down. Still engaging your low belly. As you lift up, this will protect low back. Exhale, come on down. Tuck chin, inhale, lift up, press into the front foot. Exhale, roll down. So we're just practicing some more waves here, massaging out the spine. We'll get about 1 more like this, pressing up and coming down. We'll press up 1 last time. And this time as you come down, you will stay in your humbled warrior. Inhaling and exhaling. You're to the inside of the left leg. Press firm into the outer edge of right foot. Last breath. Hands drop to the front foot now. Pick up the back heel, so we're in a runner's lunge position. If your block is handy, you might need it under the right hand, and then the left arm reaches up to the sky. Gaze for your hand, the side, or down to the floor. It's up to you. Try not to let yourself sink. You want to stay super strong. Press a lot through the back heel. Last couple of breaths in. And out. And in. And out. Prepare for warrior 2. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, it circles back, heel drops, and then you'll circle up. So you're in that warrior 2 position. Always checking within your foundation, your feet. We want to build the house of our body from the ground up here. Gazing at the left thumb. Hips trying to open to the side of your mat. Final 2 breaths. Last one. Everyone looks so good. Beautiful. Palm flips. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, cartwheel down. Step to down dog. Let yourself find a little pedaling here, or maybe enjoying stillness, gripping the floor, head heavy here. And just keeping your awareness on sensations and breath. One more round of breath. Getting ready to travel to the front of the mat here. Inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, you can walk your feet to your hands. You could always take a little hop if you're feeling like it today. Then we'll inhale halfway. Exhale, soften the knees and fold it down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Stretch up super duper tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful job there. Let's take a breath. So if you're in studio here, you know you can take your water breaks or any breaks you need anytime. Same with you guys out there at home. We'll be coming into a balancing posture here to begin with. Right after we hit everybody's favorite, which is chair, right? Chair or goddess, it's kind of a toss-up there. Let's inhale the arms up overhead, feet are hips width apart, and then you'll start to sit yourself down. I'm going to show you from the side. So I'm trying to take the arms forward to take the hips back. Once I've gotten them as back as far as I can there, I'm going to take the elbows out to the side so they're kind of in line with my body. Again, pulling the arms down to strengthen the upper back. Maintaining that core connection, pelvic floor squeezes a bit. You want to try not to overarch or over tuck so you find that nice neutral position. Looking good, students. Long, slow breaths. You guys look great. Let's come on up. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, soften, and let's find a lovely fold here. Maybe you grab your elbows, let your head just hang. You could also, if you are feeling a little extra bendy this morning, slide your fingers under your feet from the front. This is Padahastasana, or gorilla pose. You can use this to help pull yourself, not necessarily even down more, a little bit down more, but it really helps to open up the upper back there. Another 2 breaths, however you are. And one more. Releasing whatever grip that you're working with. We'll inhale super tall, lift all the way up, and then exhale, hands meet at the heart. Beautiful. All right, so we'll come into our first balance pose. Balancing on the left leg, we'll be lifting our right leg up. So we'll take the hands to prayer to begin with. That's going to help find this little squeeze. So you press. Balancing on the left leg, we take the right knee up and then move it out to the side. We're coming into tree. You can either place it down onto the calf, or you could reach down for it and try to press it up into the thigh. Mine didn't want to go, so I'm just going to leave it here. Continue to engage your hands into each other. That's going to automatically help fire up through the center of the body, making you super duper stable. So I thought about trying to do a Christmas tree here, but we'd have to have 2 knees out to the side, and that would be virtually impossible. So this is the best I could come up with. Last breath. Beautiful job, students. Let's take that leg down. And you can take your hands down for a moment so you can just kind of feel all of that beautiful energy showing up. And then we'll try the other side. Hands to the heart, squeeze, lift, and engage. Right foot roots down. And then we will take the left knee out, open, and then maybe placing it down on the calf. You could go ahead and grab it, pull it on up to the thigh like Erin in the back. You don't want to press it on your knee though. The reason is I want you to squeeze the leg and the foot into each other. Even if it initially makes you wobble a little bit, feel more strong. Breathe in. Exhale. Keep pressing palms, last 2 breaths. One last one. Super, let's take it down. Hands come down. We'll make our way through another vinyasa flow here, coming up to the top of the mat. We're going to begin coming back into that balance. This time we're going to stand on the right leg first, squeeze and lift lower belly, hands to prayer here. Lifting the left knee forward. We're just going to practice stepping it back here. So it's a super slow step back, or maybe it was a little quicker for you. Totally fine. Let your toes land at some point. And then we'll open our way back up to Warrior Two briefly, just as a transition there. And then we'll make our way into facing the side by picking up the right toes, pivoting on your heel. And we're making our way now into a goddess. So you can let your arms drop for a bit. Take the toes out, heels come in, and just start to take yourself down. So one thing you can do here is kind of press the thighs back a little. That's going to help again decompress that low spine and just feel that pressure. Nice gentle release. Can move from one side to the other a bit just to get ourselves kind of ready. Then we'll come a little taller. Create a lotus by taking the thumb and the pinky finger like so. Maybe your arms can press together. They might be a little further apart, whatever works. On your in-breath, you're going to stand tall, lotus grows, and exhale, open arms and come back to goddess. Inhale, press the hand together, up. Exhale, slow. A few more. Last two. One more. And then we'll come to goddess. You can take your thumb and your forefinger to meet here. Continue to squeeze the pelvic floor up. Doesn't have to be super strong, but just play around with it a bit. Find the perfect amount of squeeze. Last 3 breaths. I know. Last 2 breaths. One more breath. Let's release. Arms up, legs straight. Toes point forward, arms up. Exhale, arms out to the side and really reach. Inhale, open the heart, maybe looking up. Exhale, knees bend. Fold yourself down. I'd like to add a little side lunging here. So if you would like to join me, you'll bend your right knee a little. And then the left. You could always stay down the middle too. Or if there's something else accessible to you in this position, you're always welcome to play around and do your own thing as well. Take another couple of side lunges there if you're lunging. Opening up inner thigh. And we'll take a moment to just let ourselves hang down the middle. Still making sure that you're not rounding through the spine here, so we're not pulling down on the vertebra of the spine. If you feel as though it's a little too round and not comfortable, you'll lift yourself up a little more and bend your knees. Last breath. Good. Let's take an inhale, half lift, wave the spine long. Exhale, hands up onto hips, and we'll maintain this position. And then inhale, lift up. We're coming back to Warrior Two on the right. Pick up your right toes, pivot on your heel, and begin to bend your knee. I'm going to grab my block, and if you have one, you might want it too. We'll be eventually moving into half moon here. We will take our way back to where we began. We've been here before. It's just as strong, maybe even stronger. Right hand flips. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, let's go to extended side angle first. Taking your forearm onto your thigh and stretching the opposite arm up. We'll stay right here. If you want, you could always take your hand onto the block instead and kind of press your arm into your inner thigh, feeling them pressing into each other and getting stronger and stronger. One more breath. Let's inhale and reverse. And then exhale, start to come back to extended side angle, taking your block. And we'll make our way into half moon by pressing a few times if needed off the back leg. And then lift it up and squeeze that top glute a lot. You want to keep yourself nice and long. Don't let your head hang. It should be in line with your body. If you want to try that sugar cane again here, you can bend the top leg, reach back for the heel, ankle, and just find a little back bending quality. If it's too intense, no need to add that in, of course. Last few rounds. One more. Beautiful. Release your leg back to half moon, and then slowly back to warrior two. Gaze for your front thumb. Everybody's in black today over there. I wish you could see it. It's kind of funny, black and red. Flip the back hand, or the right hand. Inhale, sweep back. And exhale, cartwheel it on down. Make your way back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Let's get ready to come forward. Inhale, look forward, knees bend. As you exhale, walk. Or if you're feeling a little frisky, a little hop there. Inhale halfway. Exhale, take it on down. One breath. All right, let's rise all the way up. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands right to the heart. Belly draws in and up. Get ready to balance on left leg. Taking the right knee upwards. And use that contraction of pelvic floor also to help lift the leg there. Beginning a slow step back. Now you could always just take it more like this, or you could press it back through warrior three. You eventually let yourself land. We'll drop the back heel right away. Open up to warrior two to transition there. And then we're going to take ourselves right into our extended side angle on half moon on this side, taking a slightly different path. Let's take our front palm, flip it, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe. Three more. And two. And one left. Beautiful. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, back to extended side angle. Finding your block, getting ready. Let yourself push off a bit. When you walk your block forward, you can take it a little bit outside your mat, so it's not quite in line with your foot, but a little bit off to the side, so more off to the left. That'll just give you a bigger foundation, a wider place to balance. If you want to try to add the sugar cane, we'll bend the top leg, grab for your foot, kick a little bit. If you throw yourself off, that's all good, right? So we learn from our failures, so to speak, even though it's certainly not a failure to fall out of a pose like this. Oh, I jinxed myself. Last breath in and out. Let's release the leg, big, big open. And finally, back to warrior two. See, I'm perfectly fine. I fell and nothing happened. One more breath. Nice, let's pivot on the foot. We're gonna come into a malasana squat here. So you're gonna take your feet a little bit closer together. And I like to usually start by bending forward first. So bend your knees and just hinge it down. Then from there you can start to sit your hips down and find something like this, right? So for some of us, this is pretty cozy. Others might find it more comfortable to sit up on something, maybe a block, and you can just take your hands and press here. Sitting up tall. If that is also too much, you could take it more here. turn to the side for a moment. If you are pretty low, I do have some very flexible hipped students in here today. You could try to walk your hands forward. You want those little tree frog fingers to walk forward as you pull the hips back. Now this one's quite intense, but if you're able to get down this low and it's something that works for your body, it's not only a nice hip opener, but it really decompresses that low spine and it feels so, so good. One more breath here. Nice. We'll start to make our way back out. So if you walked your hands forward, walk them back towards you. Hands can come back to prayer. Hands drop to the floor, pick up your hips. We're going to toe heel the feet together now so that they're all the way together, still bowing forward. And keeping your feet on the ground, just bend one knee at a time. So this is just going to, again, kind of stretch out into the side of the hips there, down into the low side body. And you can stay and kind of linger on one side for a moment. Or you can just keep pedaling it out. Let's go to the other side if you lingered. Nice. All right, come back to the middle. We'll take our feet, again, hips width apart. Inhale halfway, nice and strong. And exhale, fold it on down. Let your head shake out a bit. One more breath. Awesome. Inhale halfway, super duper strong. Exhale, fold it down. Let's inhale and rise all the way up. And exhale, hands draw to the heart. We're going to make our way back to face forward, so you guys can just turn your way around to face to the front of your mat. You can go ahead and grab a little drink if you need it. And now it's time to start our journey down to the ground, so whenever you are ready for it, we will bring ourselves back up to the top of the mat, feet hips width apart here. Take the arms up on the in-breath, grab all the energy from the room. Exhale, dive down softly. Inhale halfway. As you exhale, hands plant. We're coming right to our high plank this time. Step one leg back, and then the other. Press all of your fingers into the ground. So we're a bright, shiny new plank, right? So we're not sagging down, we're not warped here. We don't have the hips coming up if possible. It's not easy, so just do your best. You're always welcome to drop the knees down. If you want a little extra action today, we're going to fire up the arms by taking the right hand to tap the left shoulder and then take it down. And you can do this with knees down. Still going to get you great results. Strengthening our arms for any packages we might need to carry, side to side. Feel how you need to kind of figure out what to do in the core so you're not moving too much. And we just have one more round. Come back to plank. And then the knees lower, tops of the feet down, and lower all the way down. Oh, we're back. Oh, arms reach back here. Palms can face whatever way feels best for you. I like mine down here. Then you bend your knees and just let your feet find a little movement. And if you have your head one way, just turn it to the other side. You can make little circles with your lower legs. We're going to come into a little stretch from here. So let's take the legs long and back. Stretch your arms straight out from the shoulder. So the right arm is still going to stay straight out, perpendicular to your body. Use your left arm to roll yourself over a bit. Pick up the left leg. And maybe you can get that foot behind the right. Knee might point up to the sky or even a little bit more open. I like to put a block under my head here so my neck is not hanging down and reaching for the floor. It's a nice little support. And if you're at home, you could always use a cushion or anything you have handy. Even a book or something like that. I like to just keep my left arm as it is. Some students like to lift the left arm up. Some of you even can bring it all the way back and reach for the other hand. My shoulder doesn't like that, so I stay right here. Not only does this open the chest and the shoulder, but it's a nice hip mobility exercise as well. One more. Let's enjoy it for one final round of breath on the side. And then we'll roll over through the center. And then do the same on the other side, reaching that arm out and rolling over. And I'm just being a little extra careful I don't roll over onto my mic here, so if I look a little weird, that's why. Backing off as much as you need. Last 4 breaths. Last 2 breaths here. And one more here. Let's roll back onto the belly. And we're going to press our way back to child. Lift yourself up. You can spread your knees wide apart, or for more support for your spine, knees together. Maybe walking hands forward, or you can reach for feet. Let your forehead find a place to rest. If it doesn't reach the floor, use a block or anything else you have. Final inhale and exhale. Good. So let's come up onto hands and knees here. And we're going to make our way into a half pigeon. If your knees and your hips prefer you to lay on your back and take it figure 4 style, you'll transition onto your back and then just cross your right ankle over the left. Or if you're coming with me, we will lift ourselves back up to downward facing dog, taking the hips back. Let's take the right leg up on an in-breath. Maybe you add that open hip if you want to for a moment. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, knee into the chest. Drop it down behind the right wrist. And you want to line your right thigh up with the right edge of your mat. And then wherever your shin ends up, whatever that angle is your perfect angle. Maybe you grab a block to take underneath your right thigh here. You want your hips to feel level, not sinking down onto one side. And then keeping yourself nice and proud, you'll start to walk yourself forward, leading with your belly, and then the heart will follow. And then finally, the chest and the shoulders and head are last. You can let your head rest on your hands or a block, or if it hits the floor, all good. You just want to make sure that your head is supported. I know. Let go of anything you're still carrying with you. Just let Mother Earth take care of you here. Just lay it all on her. She can handle it. Long breath in. And out. We're going to add a little bit of a side stretch in here. So what we'll do is we'll start to walk the hands over to the left. So you're walking it away from your bent leg. And then you reach really long through the right arm and always gripping into the floor. Feel the stretch go all the way down the right arm, across the shoulders, the back, all the way down side ribs, and finally down to the hip. Last 2 breaths here. And 1 more. Good. We'll walk our hands back to the front and then to the hips. Puff yourself up, nice and proud. This is where the pigeon name comes from, this nice puffed up pigeon chest. And then we will switch sides. Curl your toes. I like to lift my right knee in and take the leg up and kind of shake it around, but whatever feels right for you as you transition. And then take it on down, and we'll get ready for the other side. And if you're on your back, simply crossing left ankle over on top of the right knee with knees bent and feet to floor. Left leg up, maybe open hip there. And then we'll take the leg up to the sky, knee into the nose, pause maybe, drop the knee down, grab your block if you need it. I definitely do myself. And you can also play around with how high you want your block. Do you want it a little closer to the knee? Do you like it more right under the glute? So we're all going to vary. Inhale nice and long, and then as you're ready to come forward, you creep yourself forward very slowly. You could also stay seated up like Erin is back there. So there's all kinds of different variations of your poses. Always feel free to explore something that feels right for you in the moment. Stay as you are, long, slow breaths. Maybe allowing your heart to soften down a little bit more. Relaxing the parts of your body that aren't needed to keep you where you are. And that includes your face, right? Let's add our side bend. Begin to walk your hands away from the front knee, so over to the right. A few breaths here. And if you notice it's not comfortable, then you just adjust. What do I need to do to help myself out here? Yoga practice is all about self-discovery, self-love. One more breath. And let's walk our hands back to the front, then to the hips. Sit up tall and proud. Hands down, curl back toes. Lift your left knee, maybe a 3-leg dog. I like to give mine a little shake out before I return it back down to downward facing dog. We're going to make our way down to the floor here, so you can just drop your knees and roll yourself on over. And we'll take our knees gently into the chest. You can rock a bit side to side here, giving yourself a nice gentle squeeze, just simply allowing for your body to soften down again into the earth. Trying to keep the shoulders down, tailbone down towards the floor. We'll come into our bridge pose here to open up front side of body. Hands come down alongside you, and feet, hips width apart here. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, begin to lift all the way up. And then once you get there, you kind of play around, rearranging so you feel better. Walking shoulders a little bit, maybe closer to each other underneath you. Not necessary to walk them further away from the head. Sometimes that puts too much pressure on the cervical spine. And we need to be very, very careful in keeping our spines healthy and safe. If it feels good to interlace your fingers together and press the sides of your hands into the mat, you can go for that. So the glutes and the hamstrings working here to support you, but try to find some freedom in the front of the hips and all through the front torso here. 3 breaths in and out. Hold for 2 more inhales. And complete exhales. And last one. Good. As you inhale, lift up slightly higher. Walk the shoulders back out. And then exhale, lower from the back to the mid-spine, all the way down until the hips finally land. Keep your feet as they are. Slide your hands to the tops of the thighs and press the creases of your thighs there with the heels of your hands. And just start to add the spinal traction in here and lengthening out the spine. And they actually sell machines here that you can use to put on the legs and then push with your hands on some handles. And we don't need that. We got it right here. Take another 3 breaths this way. About 2 more there. Just going to dim the lights just a bit here for our students. Final round. And then release that and take your right leg long up to the sky. Interlace your fingers or just kind of hold onto your thigh or even walk them up towards the calf. You're going to bend that knee just a little as you start to draw the leg just slightly closer to you. And just continue there. You want to make sure that you're not taking too much pressure and yanking the leg down, not only drawing it a little closer to you, but also pressing the right hip down to earth. Last breath in this way. Option to straighten out the left leg. If that works, sliding the heel down. This will make it more intense. Our next inhale will lift the shoulders, curl and lift it up. Exhale, stay right there. Maybe the leg draws a little closer. Notice my knee is still bent. 1 more breath in. And then as you exhale, let yourself come down. Interlace your fingers on your right shin. Pull the knee up, up, up. Stretch the left leg straight. Everyone now. And then find your final twist on this side. Hand onto the right knee. And right hand out to the side. And let your left hand just guide your knee over and across your body. You can turn your closed eyes to face your right hand so you get a little twist up in your neck, your cervical spine. Last few breaths. And 1 more. Let's unwind. Place your right foot on the floor, knee bent. And we'll take the left leg up to the sky for our hamstring stretch. Walk your hands up your leg. Bend your knee as much as you want to. If you happen to have a strap at home, you could always use a strap under your foot instead. And just pull it down. Not only drawing it lightly closer to you, but remember, you want to anchor the left hip down into the ground. If you know you want to straighten out the right leg, you can straighten it out at any time. If you've straightened it, feel free to change your mind, right? On our next in-breath, we'll add a little extra power. Inhale, curl up, reaching forehead towards shin. Exhale, stay right here. 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, head comes down, interlace your fingers on your left shin, stretch your right leg out if it's not already stretched out. Really squeeze the knee in as much as you can. Press your right heel away from you. And then we'll find our twist. Right hand to left knee, left arm out to side, and twist it out. If you happen to need more support and you have a block, you could always prop it up under your left foot or your left hand knee. Last few. Two more breaths. And one more breath. Let's gently unwind here. And our last pose before our Shavasana will be waterfall. I like to take the knees in and give myself a little hug after a twist just to realign the spine. And if you do have a block, we're going to grab it. And if you're at home, you could always use a cushion or rolled up blanket or something for this. You're gonna place it right underneath the sacrum. So that's the flat part, not on your waist. Someplace where you can balance very easily here. You could always take it up to a medium height if that felt good for you. High is way too tippy. I'm just gonna leave mine on the lower. And you'll take one leg up, followed by the other. And if you wanna bring a little movement to ankles or even shake out both legs for a moment, you can do that. Giving them a little shake's just gonna aid the inversion, speed it along, kind of helping the blood just flow down from the legs into the pelvis. And then by lifting the hips, you create this nice little slope so that the blood can just flow back down and fill your heart. Let yourself be as restful as possible. And experiment with finding that perfect little hover point for your legs so that you are not using any effort to keep them where they are. Eyes can float closed if they haven't already. Still continuing to take mindful inhales and exhales. Taking deep, long breaths in and back out. Of course, you're welcome to move your way into shoulder stand if that's something that's in your practice. Just reminding yourself that it's a shoulder stand, right? Not a neck stand. So you want to make sure if you're going for that one at home or in the studio with me today, that there's no pressure on your neck. Let's just take our last few moments here. And allowing your palms maybe to face open, to subtly open up the heart a little more. And then as you are ready, we'll start to let one foot come down, followed by the other. Lift yourself up and off your block, just gently set it to the side. Finding any last little thing that you need, whether it's adding that spinal traction back in here, pressing the tops of the thighs away, maybe one last self-hug, thanking yourself for taking some you time before your busy next few days, moving into the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, all that fun stuff. And wishing 2020 a pleasant goodbye, right? We'll start to let ourselves find our bliss here, extending the legs down as you're ready. And if this is not pleasant for your lower back, then just let your knees find a bend with feet on the ground, maybe the knees gently knocking in towards each other. You could always roll something up under the knees to prop them up. Releasing any effort in your breath. And just allowing yourself to be here now. Absorbing the physical benefits of your practice. Letting your body cool down in a position where we're trying to correct for any imbalances that we may create in our daily lives. So shoulders are trying to be even. Trying to make the legs even. And even if your feet are bent with your feet are on the floor with the knees bent, same thing. as you're here, thoughts, to-do lists, plans, recipes, anything else is poking its way into your mind, simply note them and set them aside for later. And we'll take these last few moments here together. My dear students, as you are ready, you will start to slowly wake yourself up by bringing some movement into your feet and your hands. Maybe your head is gently rocking from one side to the other. Alyssa's there already, that long, beautiful first morning stretch. Let's start that morning sober again, maybe. No alarm this time. Big reach. Lightly draw one knee at a time into your chest. One last big hug. And then rock yourself off to either the right or the left side into a fetal position. Or you can always rock your way forward and back if you prefer. As we make our way back up to find a seat. You can bring your block back up underneath you if needed. Maybe you just kind of close your eyes and notice if you are able to sit more comfortably here, and I hope so after all the work we put in. We'll close our class by uniting our voices once again in the sound of Om. Taking a big breath in here, sighing it away, and inhaling for Om. I feel 1,000,000% better than I did when I first woke up this morning, and I hope you all do as well. From Mystic Fitness, thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Namaste. Namaste. That was beautiful. Thank you.